What's up, everybody? Welcome to the K-pop Kimchi Podcast, your number one podcast for girl groups with the number one fanboys. I'm your host, Justin Tourneau, with my co-host, Brian Limper, on a Wednesday night. It's freezing. Let's clap it up. Let's clap it up.
Special.
Woo! Early recording
in time and day.
Yep, yeah, pretty much. It's only like 8 o'clock. Sweet.
It really is.
Sick. We had some Starbucks.
And it's also like 8 degrees outside.
Oh my gosh, I hate it. I'm over it. I'm done. I just want to say officially now, I'm done with the cold. It sucks.
It's not so bad if it was just like would stay one temperature, but it like changes and goes in like the 50s and 60s and like drops back down.
And then like that happens, and then there's gonna be snow and ice, and
just teases me.
It's horrible.
You know what's not fake? Our love for this awesome kdrama that we watched.
Yeah, we love it so much we're watching it in the background with no sound.
Because we're gonna have our first ever kdrama episode
review
for a kdrama probably no one else except for us has watched, and Mango watched the first 5 minutes of the first episode.
What? She didn't like it?
She just said she didn't watch anymore, but she's been busy. And I'm like,
that's bad when you only watch 5 minutes and you're like, I'm done, because it's like maybe 9 minutes long.
Because I've talked about it with her, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like on episode like 9 or 10 right now, and I just started watching again. She's like, oh yeah, I watched like the first part and I got busy and I just didn't finish it. I'm like, oh well.
Yeah, it's not like hour and a half episodes, so she must have hated it. That's okay.
But it's called, well, it has a lot of names, but the one that we know by is Be My Boyfriend. That's what it's called.
Great name.
And it's 15 episodes long. Each episode has a runtime of like 13 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's not very long.
No, we've already, like, while starting this and doing it, we've already, like, kind of went through an episode. Probably episode and a half, so.
True. The original runtime was February 25th, 2021 through April 15th, 2021.
Oh, I was like, right now.
Yeah, actually, yes.
It's like literally, it's your anniversary. Perfect.
Do you know what would have been the worst if we... Oh, wow, you're right. It's like the 23rd. Do you know what would have been the worst if we, like, were watching it as it was coming out? We had to wait, like, weeks in between watching them.
Yeah, that's a... So they put out an episode every...
week for 15 weeks.
Oh, dude, that's brutal. Man,
we just watched them all, like, in order, like, rapid fire.
Yeah, did we watch it all in... Well, we watched like one episode one day, but didn't we kind of just...
we watched the other ones all in one night.
We watched like 2 or 3 through 15, in one night. And it wasn't even that bad, because they're not long.
No.
Dude, that would be brutal. I would have just, I don't know. I would have been so sad and just worried and scared. Really, a lot of the same Girls Planet emotions would have gone into this if we had to wait a week.
True.
For 15 minutes. That's crazy.
Oh, man. But you know, you gotta put in all those ads and stuff, so it makes it longer.
Yeah, true.
That just makes me wonder, how long would the episodes of Produce 48 been if it wasn't for the commercials in between us watching it?
Ugh.
Because when we watched it on the site, it actually had like commercials that would play.
Yeah, it was like the exact what you would see on TV over there.
So, man, I mean, if you knock off like 5 minutes from 3 hours, you're looking pretty good. I mean,
that's a thing, you know, it's kind of old now, like the Produce 48 as a whole, but those were those episodes were a long haul, let me tell you. And for those of you that don't know, we watched all of them except the last one. So those were long episodes.
And we watched like 2 or 3 in one night.
And we would just sit down and power through, 2 or 3. And those episodes were like 3 hours. So you do the math there.
It's a beautiful time.
It really was. It was a great show. It was just they really put a lot in those episodes.
It's true. But so the way we found out about this was a long time ago. For all of you older K-pop fans out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we should have a prize if someone like knows how we actually.
We listened to this group I really liked. It's an oldie back where I come from. They're called CLC. Don't know if you guys ever heard of them. And we saw that they had a song by CLC. It was for a drama because it was an OST.
Yeah.
Called Another Level. Never knew what the OST was. Don't know why they said it was CLC singing it because there's only 3 of the members.
Yeah.
But the song was awesome. And it came out in early 2021, which makes sense because that's when the show came out.
Yep.
So I listened to it a lot. I didn't Actually, I don't know. Did I put it on my end of the year one? I might have. I think that might have been the first ones I got knocked out. But,
Yeah.
I listened to it a lot, and we were doing an episode recently. What were we even doing?
I think we just did an episode. I don't think it really even had to do with that. I think we just...
Actually, we might have just been the end of the year songs. I'm like, yeah, you know what song didn't make it? This one.
And I think we just were like, let's just see what the drama was. Or like,
well, what led up to it was, obviously, you guys know we watched Girls Planet.
Yeah.
And Girls Planet had the Cherry Bullet members.
Yeah.
So after Girls Planet was over, we got really into Cherry Bullet.
Yeah.
And one of the members in Cherry Bullet was Yuju.
Right.
And we were looking at, I think this was what it was. We were looking up just another level, because I'm like, oh yeah, this is a song you should listen to. It's a good one.
Yeah.
And I played it, but the album art was just the cover of like the OST.
Yeah.
And I was looking, I was like, is that Yuju on there?
Yep.
And he's like, I think it is. And we like looked up what the name of the drama was, and we found it. We watched the first episode. And I think that's how we started watching it. And then the next time you came over, we just watched the rest of them.
It was like two avenues led us to the same result of like, we're like, oh hey, this song goes with that, and it's the one Yuju was in.
Because I remember looking, I'm like, wait a minute, is that Yuju?
And we've seen screenshots and stuff of her
Like
in the show, in the drama, and like we didn't know. We're not like, oh, that's the thing from the CLC song. We didn't even know that. It was when we just looked up the song like actually to see what it was from, and then like Yuju was there, and we're like, yeah, checks out.
Because I'd like Google it on like the My Drama list.
Because we're like, we should actually like see what it is. Like, and then turns out they put it all on YouTube, so we're like, let's watch the first episode, and yeah.
And then I remember we were like, I wonder if they're gonna play the CLC song. If it's gonna be like one of those things, like, oh yeah, it's like part of the show, but
yeah.
But it's actually like the official soundtrack song, and they played it in the first like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like when they were like walking up like the Mean Girls. And, like,
Yeah. It's in like all the episodes.
But yeah, so that's the basic synopsis of what this is right now. I guess you could kind of categorize it as like I don't know, just like a high school romance kind of drama, kind of slice of life kind of thing going on. Because like a lot of dramas, there's like based in a school, like a high school. That's like, I feel like that's where like all their shows.
It's just, it seems like they have a lot of shows that are some kind of school based.
Because I watch a lot of movie recaps on YouTube, and there's one that's like Korean movie recaps, just Korean movies.
Yeah. Like
90% of them, they're in high school.
Like that, it's.
Or it involves debt collectors and pawn sharks.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, they do that a lot. I mean, and like obviously that's like a big K-pop concept, and then like Knowing Bros is based on that. It's just
that's
school.
True.
School is just like a thing, you know.
School life's just a big thing.
It's just a big type of thing, and this is what that drama was. That's 100% what it is. Like just like some good old teenage angst.
So I've got a list of our characters here, but I might just introduce them as we're talking about the episodes. Because we're going to go one by one through each episode.
Yeah.
And then we'll give our thoughts at the end of it.
Yeah.
So everybody please hold your questions and applause till the end of the
I really hope somehow
seminar.
Someone who really cares about this as much as us, or I mean honestly just one person sees it so we can discuss, because this was controversial.
It was. Very controversial. But we actually did just watch episode 1. I've got like a little like diagram of each episode with like a synopsis so I can remember what happened in all of them.
Yeah.
But the first episodes where we're kind of introduced to the main characters, right?
Yeah.
And the first person that's introduced is our main girl character, Ojina, who is portrayed by Lee Shiwoo. And they literally like walk up like the Mean Girls. Like it's like slow motion and like introduces all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's got her one friend, Ju Minji, who's played by Jung Bo-min. And she's supposed to be like a rich girl. Like actually her family's like rich. They like have a lot of money. That's how they introduce her. Like, oh, he's rich. Your dad has a lot of money. Blah, blah, blah. That's why she's popular.
Yeah.
And then you had Sung Hana, who's played by Choi Yuju from Cherry Bullet, which is the whole reason why we watched it.
Yep.
And that's like your main, I guess, kind of 3 girl characters that are in it.
Yeah.
That it follows around. So they get introduced and talk about how they're like super popular. Like, oh, these are the cool kids, you know? Like, this is like the epitome of like popularity in high school.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's like following them around. And it's called Be My Boyfriend, because the whole basis of the show is this like douchebag jock guy. He's like a baseball player named Ku. I can't read my handwriting, sorry.
That's okay.
Ku
His
Hantak.
name was.
Who's played by Im Sung Kyun. is like a baseball player, and he legit. The whole thing started because he like broke up with Jinna, but she's like the most popular girl. She's like, no, you don't dump me, blah blah blah, all this stuff, and she's like, trying to act like she has a new boyfriend and stuff. He's like, oh well, who is it? And that's where we get Lee Sung-min, the main character, everybody's hero. Just a
big
goofy
sucker. He's just like a super nice guy. Wouldn't want to hurt anyone.
And he's played by Shin Hyung-sung. It's funny because I looked up some of these people before we watched a couple of the episodes. They really never really, I don't know, did anything outside of this, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how it works because they weren't like coming from K-pop groups, or at least
not all of them.
Not those ones.
So they're literally just like actors and actresses. But yeah, so she literally like looks at a board, like not a billboard, like a bulletin board in school that has like school announcements and stuff posted on it.
Yeah.
And she like just picks him randomly. She's like, oh yeah, that's my new boyfriend. And that's what starts the entire thing. Because her and her friends get the picture and they just go running around looking for him to try to find him, to be like, oh yeah, you gotta pretend to be your boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And the whole thing's just a ploy to make this dude jealous, is essentially what it is.
So 100% she just gets the idea because she got dumped and is salty and wants to make him jealous.
Yeah, I said that's the whole show.
That's
great episode.
She wants to make
Final
him
thoughts.
jealous. She wants to make him jealous. So she picks a goofy dude that she would normally not talk to be your boyfriend.
And I think he's isn't he like a freshman in this school?
I think so.
And she's like an upperclassman, so it's like a whole big deal that she's like...
everyone like freaks out.
Yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, she's the most popular girl. Because this dude's best friend is Ol Boyo, and he's from Ace. He's Kim Byung-kwon from Ace, so he's the other, I guess, idol that's in the show.
Secondary good guy lead role.
Yeah, he's like his best friend.
Super energized, like he's like crazy the whole thing. Just really brings the energy.
Like he's so hyped all the time. He gets so excited. And of course, the dude's pretending to not be jealous, but he's also just like a disbelief that she's talking to somebody else.
Just like, no. I mean, I'm sure like there's a million things like that we could think of like over here and stuff of just like, what? There's no way she's actually dating him, blah, 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 and like using someone.
You're serious. Kind of like Kim Kardashian talking to, what's his face? That goofy dude from...
Pete Davidson?
Yeah, Pete Davidson.
Or something? Yeah.
When they're like, he could have like a super muscular guy or a super rich guy, but she picked Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson. Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
He's just like too nice, and like it's not someone Gino would want normally.
Not a bad
And
boy.
it's not because she picked him off a board.
Literally, just randomly off the board. That's pretty much what the first episode was, is introducing them.
Yeah.
And showing how Gina's just the most beautiful person in the entire
world. She really
world.
is. I'm surprised she hasn't acted in more stuff.
Yeah, I'm surprised she's not like the most popular actress in
I guess this did only come out like a year ago, so there's time.
I would watch big movie break.
I just want them to have a sequel of this. I would be so pumped. Where's the sequel?
That just follows Yuju around at her new school.
We'll
get into that later.
That'd be so sad.
Oh, the second episode really is just Sungmin accepting his role as her fake boyfriend, and he kind of comes to terms with it.
She made him sign a contract. Like, she wrote up a little contract that he had to sign to be like her quote-unquote boyfriend. And it had like different kind of parameters.
And I think it was like 30 or 60 days or like something.
Yeah,
like
it
that.
had like a time limit.
And there's like rules. Like rule 1, you like have to walk me home after school, or just random stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much the second episode. It just kind of catches up with like, he's like, oh yeah, okay, I'm your boyfriend. You're my
he's
girlfriend.
like kind of excited about it because
he's like had a crush on her for like a long time.
Yeah, because like everybody does. Because she's the most beautiful, most popular girl in school.
Which she like gets told this later on, and she's like so shocked by it, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, and he's honestly just like a big simp.
Pretty much.
He like does like anything for her.
I don't know if you guys have ever met Josh in our Discord, but he's like the tall Korean version of Josh.
Yeah. And she's like kind of cold to him at first, and like, look, we're not actually dating, and like,
come on, dude, this is
like,
just keep up for appearances.
Like, let's just make sure if people are looking, then maybe we'll like hold hands or something. But chill out, like
don't take.
She's not nice to him. She's not that nice to him, and he's like all happy and stupid.
He really is.
But yeah, that's kind of the second one. He like goes and gets her food, because she gets whatever she wants.
Look at her just eating her dumplings, living life.
And she's like, oh, I want dumplings. Like, I'll go get them. He's literally just such a big simp with his Velcro
I think it's
shoes.
the craziest thing ever that, like, oh, I guess technically this is episode 3, but I think it's the craziest thing ever that, like, they go to the cafeteria and they have, like, super, like, Asian food and she's eating, like, a corn dog.
Yeah.
Like, why does their cafeteria just have corn dogs?
I don't know. That must be like the
I really just want to see the cafeteria.
the pizza station where it's like, I guess we'll just go with the corn dog today.
Also, his best friend, his, like, whole, I guess, direction for what he's supposed to do is just open your eyes really wide and act super excited.
Yeah,
all the time.
just almost yell every time you talk. 'Cause that's what
Overdo
he
every
does.
line you do.
And he's just like he just freaks out because like he's technically dating Gina now.
True. But see, the Gina and Sungmin are the only ones that know there's a contract.
Yeah,
Everybody else thinks it's, like, legit.
everyone thinks it's legit, and everyone's just so dumbfounded.
Starstruck.
Oh,
Also, let's just point it out right now, the elephant in the room. This man's coat game
Yeah,
is on another level.
Yeah,
No pun intended.
He has
literally
seriously,
another level.
He has crazy jackets that he wears in this. Like every single time, he has like a different jacket on.
Like this one he has on right now is like an actual Snuggie.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Maybe it was like funded by some kind of clothing brand.
It kind of reminds me of like the shark suit people would wear around, but it's not. It's
Yeah,
just a coat.
without the top part.
And it's even shown like right now she's trying to like not take it seriously because he wanted to walk her home. She's like, no.
Yeah,
I
she's
can
like,
walk
no,
home on
I'm
my
going
own."
by myself. But then there's the her ex, sitting there, even though he's not even that far. And I'm not sure how they didn't see him earlier, staring at them. But now she's like, yeah, walk me home because now my ex is here, so we have to show off because she's a horrible person.
I'm pretty sure he's like even like, are you just trying to like make me jealous? You're like
Yeah.
afraid to talk to me. But that's like the first couple episodes. Then we get to another episode where this is like episode 3 where it kind of introduces the more backstory between Hana and Gina, like why they're friends or like how
Yeah.
they became friends.
Yeah.
They're like, of course, it's a K-drama, so they're in the same dance company.
They are in their idols trying to make it in a company.
That's not doing great, apparently.
Yeah, it's a crappy company, so it's Cube.
It's either Cube or Fantiago.
They're in they're like in they're not like in a group, they're like trainees right now.
Yeah, they're like trained to
They're
be
like
in a group.
trainees.
They also do this little thing that we're like watching now. They like answer questions about themselves so the
Yeah.
other person can learn about them.
Yeah.
So they're like actually like trying to learn about each other, which is kind of nice. But yeah, so they go to dance class, and then this is when she like allows him to like walk her home and stuff like that, which is like a big thing for him. He's like super excited about it.
He gets so excited with everything. I mean, he definitely is like even knowing it's a contract, he's all in.
Because he gets like her phone number,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Can I text you?" And she's like, "No, I'll be asleep." He just like runs off like a freaking idiot.
He is a big idiot.
He really is. Then in the next episode, they go to like a little, I guess, lunch date kind of thing. But he's already hanging out with Boyle, his one friend, so he brings him with him. So all the friends like meet, like her friends meet his friend.
Yeah.
And they're like, why is he here? And he's like, I was already hanging out with him. I couldn't just leave him there.
Yeah. Is that when they go to like the internet cafe?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So they're like hanging out or whatever. And then later on, after they get introduced, they're like, oh yeah, let's go to the internet cafe because that's like where we were going.
Yeah.
And then that's when they find out that she's like super like cool and like into playing like video games. And
Who was?
Jenna,
Oh, she was? Okay.
she was like super into playing video games. They play like League of Legends together.
Yeah. It's like one of those things like they didn't think she would be into that because she's like too cool and popular.
Oh, I remember why they went there now. They told her they know where really great food was at.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, we know where the best food is. And look, really? A gaming cafe? They're like, this is so good.
But then it was like fun and the food was like really good.
So they went and played some games. And like, oh, yeah. And he like protected her or tried to protect her from like the one just random creepy dude in the bathroom.
Yeah, that was weird. That was super, super weird. There's like a grown man too.
He's
just like followed her in the bathroom.
He's like, let me walk into the bathroom. It's dangerous in these
I was like,
places."
are they in like they apparently they went to the gaming place in the most like
They just went to like the
horrible place in all South Korea.
that east side Aladdin's castle.
Seriously, like I don't know, because he like followed her. He was like trying to follow her to the bathroom, but the guy was there, so he didn't do anything.
You know what's really amazing to me after I watched a lot of Korean stuff? How they don't have like gaming cafes like that here.
Yeah,
I've never seen one.
yeah, me neither. Not like that anyway.
That's
It's
like-
like legit, just like computers,
Yeah,
and they get their like
and
noodles
it's like
and stuff.
food and stuff. It's awesome.
Where's the Madden Cafe? I'm trying to go to the Madden Cafe, get some noodles.
Like when we played in the middle of the mall.
Don't get hit by a car. And then we have our classic. We're watching it now when there's a car just flying, hairpin turn around the corner, and Gina doesn't see it and Will get smoked.
Going on 90 miles an hour in a tan.
Literally flying through like this one lane road, and then he pulls her arm back so she doesn't die from getting struck by the car. It was probably Yuju driving.
And it's always that super epic, like he grabs her arm and then she turns around and like stares in the face.
It's like slow-mo and they replay it like 3 times and zoom in.
Because you are
seriously. I was thinking like Olivia doing her cartwheel.
Oh yeah.
One thing. But yeah, it's like the classic. Because the little walk sign's broken. Yeah. It's literally like the most tiny little street too, and that person was just booking.
Seriously, you can't even call it a street. It's like an alley.
It's like, and they were just flying.
So after they go to the gaming cafe in the next episode is when the drama starts. That's when they put the D in drama.
D in the drama.
Because they have this PE class where they're trying to like, I guess to do physical education. That's what PE stands for. I'm not really sure if it's like yearly testing or they have to do like so many push-ups and chin-ups and sit-ups and stuff.
It's like the national performance test.
And of course, old baseball, but guy's trying to show out for everybody. And he does a whole bunch of them to try to impress Jenna and get her back.
Yeah, he does like a bunch of push-ups.
But the real plot twist is when Sungmin sees Hana in the classroom and he literally gives her a Pocari Sweat and is like, drink up, you look sick.
Yeah, here, get more sick by drinking Pocari Sweat.
And she said that she hasn't like eaten in like, what was it, like 3 or 4 days so she could like make tape so she could stay in her dancing group.
Yeah, she'd like cut her weight. Yeah, there's a CLC, another level.
So she like has been starving herself, of course, like you do. Do nothing but.
And then it's just really his like, because it kind of like.
Eating air.
It just like adds up of just like his random little tiny basic caring things that she's like starts to turn a corner because I guess the baseball guy or her ex didn't treat her well at all. Well, he didn't. Like we know, he didn't even like get her an anniversary gift.
Well, it's like at the I think the very beginning, like I don't know if she knew about the plan or she like thought about it or thought it was super weird. But like Yuju's character like didn't like Sungmin at all. She's like, why she
hated him. She hated him. I don't know. She hated his guts, but yeah, I mean, pretty much Gina's ex is a big jerk. So any of these like tiny little acts of kindness toward her from the new guy, she's just like it's like a
you
her
actually
eyes
know
are like
my name.
Yeah, her eyes are just like open to the light. She's like, oh my gosh,
the other side. But yeah, that's a big part for anybody who's listening to this still and hasn't stopped listening after the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Sungmin gives her like that drink and she's like, oh my gosh, this is like the nicest guy ever.
Pocari Sweat's gross.
I don't know if it is Pocari Sweat. It looks like Pocari Sweat.
I think it was.
I can only assume that it was because it was involving physical activity and it's a blue and white can.
So gross.
But it like changed her, like literally changed her as like a person on the inside.
Yeah, it sucked.
But as you alluded to earlier, her ex, baseball dude, is a super big douche.
He really is.
And Sungmin shows up in his Velcro shoes and gives Jinna like an anniversary present.
Yeah.
Because over in Korea, 22-day anniversary is like a big thing. And she's like, why did you do this? He goes, oh, we need to celebrate this, blah, blah. And she goes, oh, that's kind of dumb, but okay.
Yeah.
And she like acts all cool, but really she's like super happy about it.
Yeah, she's like crying on the
inside. And it like
inside.
shows flashbacks of her like go to like the 1-year anniversary of like her and her boyfriend, the baseball guy. And she like got him a present and she's like standing outside as like baseball practice for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you didn't have to wait. I told you it's going to be a long time. And she's like, oh, but I wanted to. She's like, oh, cool. And that was like it.
He's just a big jerk.
Then after that, of course, the two mean people in the show, baseball guy, Hyung-tuk, and, you know, Yuju get together to trick Sungmin so Gina hates him and they can break them apart. Yeah. I feel like this is the point where they try to have all these elaborate plans to break them up so they can each get what they want.
Yeah.
And what happened, it was like, Gina said she couldn't go walk home after school because she had an important meeting to go to or something. So she like disappears, and because she's gone, Hana goes up to Sungmin and is like, oh yeah, I really like this artist too. You want to go to like this album signing?
Was that a plan? Or was it... I thought it was... I could be wrong. I thought it was the baseball guy wanted to talk to Gina, right? Mm-hmm. At the cafe. And she's like, okay. So she told Sungmin, I can't walk home.
Yeah.
Not telling him what she was doing.
Yeah.
So it was a little sketch, but not like lying. And then he was free. And I thought Yuju or like someone said they like to go to the person's concert or fan meet, and then like the other one was like, I like that too, so they planned to go. That's what I.
No, they actually went.
No, I know, but like Yuju liking that person, it wasn't like malicious. Wasn't it just they found out
her and the other guy like planned to do something to
so
make them mad at each other.
Okay.
Because they like met in the hallway beforehand, and he's like, "Oh, I need to talk to you."
Okay, I see. I thought it was just like he had nothing to do, and Yuju mentioned something, and that was like.
That's just why they're in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, and then of course like fate brings everyone together.
Yeah, so I mean, no, it was like legit plan. Like, in the episode it shows them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, like I'm gonna blah blah blah, go do this," and she's like. Okay, then I think she did actually like the person. It just happened to be that she asked him to go with him, but it was like she planned with the other guy to.
Oh, see, I didn't remember that. I thought it was like a coincidence.
Oh no, they planned that. They talked beforehand.
And then I thought it was just like you just like, well, I have nothing to do, and he was like, well, I don't have anything to do. I'll go with you or something.
But anyways, they go to this thing.
Yeah.
And of course, like we said, they leave this fan meet thingy. Or whatever it was, going to this cafe, and like, oh, that was awesome. You know, we should go again. Blah blah blah. And of course, Gina's sitting there with homeboy, just talking, drinking coffees together.
Yeah.
And then of course everybody's mad and blames each other, and they all like run away, and everybody's like crying.
Everyone's
and
sad.
Which I mean is a terrible argument because she's like, how could you do this? He's like, you're sitting here with this guy, and she's like, yeah, but I wasn't doing anything bad. How could you go with her?
It's just like, of course, it's his fault, and she had no fault at all because she literally doesn't in the whole show. So
true.
It's just like a theme.
This is also where it has like a little, I guess, kind of flashbacky thing, like before that happened, and it just showed the baseball guy giving her all the presents that he like never gave her through like the 5 years they were together.
Yeah. He's like trying to actively win her back.
Yeah, but like giving her presents like AirPods and like all kinds of random stuff like that. This dude's so goofy. He's like friends so funny. But then after that happens, like I said, everyone's mad and they run away and they're all like butthurt. So, okay, first off, who keeps like maple syrup and like a hand sanitizer jar?
I don't know, man. This guy's crazy. Ugh.
Jeez,
his hand is clean.
But she runs away, and that's when she gets chased down by super side character, Park Junwoo, the creepy baseball guy that's a stalker and is obsessed with her.
Yeah.
And when I mean obsessed, I mean he like legit, like throughout the show apparently does these little things.
Yeah,
like,
she had like stuff.
Steal her like pantyhose and like steal her necklace and earphones. Weird. And he has like all kinds of stalker pictures and stuff of her.
He's actually like really creepy. And they like in the earlier episode she like is missing some stuff from her locker and you're just like and there's like a note. It was like, I'll see you later. And you just don't know who it is. And then you find out it's that guy.
And he like literally like corners her like.
In like a dark alley.
Like chases her down and corners her. It's so creepy.
It's really weird.
And then baseball guy and Sungmin like chase after her.
Yeah.
Or chase after him, I guess, to go find her because she's not answering her phone and they can't find her.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they save the day. And that's like, she's like, oh my gosh, like, you're my hero.
I think Sungmin like gets there first.
Yeah. And scares the dude off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He, like, shades her eyes from the sunlight. She's like, get your hand out of here.
She's just so ungrateful.
She's just not used to this awesome treatment. So they go chase some creepy baseball guy. And that's what leads to her being like, oh, it's late. You should come spend the night with me at my house because for some reason my parents are out of town all the time at like
they're
1 a.m.
Yeah.
And then she also promised that she'd buy him a good meal because of their 22-day anniversary since he got her a present, which is like this. What was it? It was like a backpack with like a blanket in it or something like that. And you can just see the despair and anger on Yuji's face.
Yeah, it's starting to get bad.
Especially because after that's when they come to the, I don't know. She can like tell she's getting angry just by him being around, or she's like jealous in some way. Because when she shows up, when he's like, we just saw in the little like eating area, she's like, this is a waste of time. Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And she just like leaves when everyone else is like having fun.
But, yeah, she just starts to get like real jealous of like everyone.
Yep. And literally everybody. It's not just her, it's just everybody.
Yeah.
But then like, he goes to her house and stays the night, and he like somehow gets. She's like, you want some more comfortable clothes, and it's just like normal clothes, but they just like somehow fit him. But they're like,
Yeah, I was like, I guess her dad had sweatpants up for the high school kid. I don't know.
but he's like, oh, I need to stay up so I can protect you and all this, all that nonsense.
Yeah, it was.
That happened. Then the real fireworks happen when they go to Rich Girl's house. Because at the end of this, it's weird because we're like watching the episodes, but like not coinciding with like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But after they spend the night together, they like go to school the next day, and they're like in their little TikTok club. And the rich girl's like, "Oh, hey, we can go to like my vacation home."
Yeah, or like her aunt or something. I don't know. Her like family member has some like nice house on some water.
And they're like, "Yeah, we can just go to my vacation home and hang out for a little bit, go on vacation." And then everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go." And then like randomly, the baseball guy's like, "Oh yeah, I'll go too, because I'm your friend. That's a guy."
Yeah, we're like, he's like, I'm going. I was like, yeah, the ex that no one really likes and she kind of hates is just like, I'm going. And they're like, okay. I'm like, why would this guy be invited?
And he's like not even really friends with the other people.
No, he like is a baseball jock and the other guys are kind of like nerdy freshmen. And like, he's literally not even friends with any of them.
The only connection he has is like, he dated Gina before.
He's the ex. And
he likes to make bad plans to spoil
I was like,
things
yeah,
with Hana.
he just tries to cause problems, and then he's like, I'm coming. I was like, well, you should probably seen he was probably going to try and cause some problems.
Yeah, I don't know. But for some reason, it's like, oh, yeah, cool, let's go.
Yeah, they was like, all right,
let's go. That is really weird, though. It's like so random. I guess they must know him.
He's literally just like, he was like, I'm coming along, and they're like, okay. I'm like, why would you guys be cool with this? He's obviously going to mess some stuff up.
Also, side plot that we haven't really talked about is Baul, his like little friend, and super hype girl, Minji. They're like,
yeah, they're like third friend.
They're like constantly like flirting all the time.
They like kind of. They're like actually the only people you root for in the show.
They're like just so energetic and fun.
They're both. She's kind of has like the Chew vibe where she's
literally
just a super
Chew.
happy, smiley girl, and then he's just a super energetic. They're just like perfect for each other.
They really are. So that's like, if you guys have ever watched The Office, that's like one of the side love lines going on.
And you're just like, I hope they make it.
Yeah. Hey, it's awesome. They're like the best story of the.
They are, because they're real. They're actually real.
Can we just get like a whole spin-off of that, like just their life together?
Seriously,
that'd be the best. So yeah, they go to Minji's house and they like are playing games, and one of the games is like, well, is you like have to like whisper something to somebody's, or like whisper a question in someone's ear, and then they have to point to whoever it was that they'd pick, and then the only way you can hear what the question was is if you get slapped on the back or something like that by everybody.
Yeah. Did they send the picture to Yuju? Or is it like a group thing?
It's like a messaging app, and she just saw that their picture got changed on it.
Oh. I was like, gosh, cold-blooded.
I know, right? She knows. She's known the whole time. But yeah, so they go to this, and of course, anytime that Songmin sees that Jina asks a question to baseball guy, or that points to him, he wants to know what it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, so he gets hit a bunch. Same thing goes for her. Like, they're just like super, I guess.
There's like kind of paranoid.
Paranoid and jealous, even though it's not even like a real relationship still. It's like a fake relationship.
You just see it starting, the tide is starting to turn.
And then they go make like some kimchi stew. And that's where you can see where like Hana's super into him and is like helping him cook and stuff.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I feel like it's not just like a plan. She just actually really likes him. So she's like just trying to hang out
she like kind of realized he's like a nice guy. And I don't know. She kind of like has a crush on him.
But then every time anything happens, like Jenna shows up and is like, why are you talking to him?
Just the worst. Or she just like doesn't really realize. She just kind of like butts in and was like, hey guys, what's up? And hey boyfriend, like, I don't know if it's like on purpose, but she's just like there. Because
all the time, every time.
Her, like anytime they have like a nice moment, like Sungmin and Yuju like to have the same type of like seasoning in the stew.
Like a not spicy one?
And they're like, yeah, I like that too. And it's like a nice moment. And then Gina comes in and is like, I need all the spice. And
he like dumps all kinds of pepper.
He's like, okay. And I'm like, dude.
You can just see the sadness on her face.
She just like literally barges in. It's like, I'm here. I need this way. And they're like, okay. And he pours it all in. And then Yuju like gets sick later.
And then the best is when they're like eating it and you can see her face. She's like, oh, this sucks. I hate it. But she still like eats it. But before that, they're like, He's like, does anybody want some? She's like, I want some. And they just like stare at her. It's like, why would you ask another person's boyfriend to get you soup?
Yeah, I know.
Like everyone just like looks at her. Every single person just like stares at her.
It's just like the most awkward friend group hangout thing of all time. I'm like, I don't understand the logistics
It's
of
like
this.
the craziest love triangle.
Yeah, because isn't it the baseball guy that like says that? He's like obviously trying to stir up drama.
Yeah,
he's
and
like,
then he's just like, I'll do it
he's
for
like,
you.
oh, why would another girl or like why would you ask another boyfriend? Or it's just something that I was like,
Another
this guy
girl's
is
boyfriend to get you soup.
obviously trying to cause
It's
friction
just like
here.
super awkward.
And
just
everyone
like
just
standing
stops.
their bowl out.
Yeah, everybody stops and you're like, what?
And then later on, it shows her like messaging him. She's like, I have an upset stomach. Can you go get me some medicine?
Yeah,
And then, but he doesn't see it because they're like, him and Jen are like walking outside, like doing whatever they're doing in wintertime.
yeah.
And then they come back and he texts her back. And he's like, oh, Jen has got your medicine. And she's like, ugh.
Yeah,
Just
and she's
leaves.
like, oh, fine. Because she like wanted to go with him to get the medicine.
It's her fault anyways. It's Jen's fault to begin with.
She just wanted to have the spicy stew, and that's what she got.
That is what you got. But yeah, that happened. And then they go up the next day. And that's when you see that super hype girl Minji and Homeboy is like a couple now.
They're like pretty much a couple after the big.
They're like, how did you know? And he's like sitting there like feeding her noodles.
Yeah. Are we that obvious?
Is it that obvious? And then the real turning point happens when I guess there's like leftovers from all the food that they bought. So they're like, who wants to take this home? And Jenna's like, I want it. I want it.
It was like they went through the different like ingredients.
Like, who
and
wants
then
these noodles? Who wants
She
these meat?
said she wants literally every single thing, and they're like okay, and she's like gets every single ingredient.
Like literally everything. Like
She's
everything.
like, I'll take those. I'll take it. I'll claim them. I'll take it.
And then Hana's just like, why do you always get everything?
She like kind of has a little freak out moment and like lets the word vomit out.
She has that moment when Gretchen Wieners is like in English class yelling about Caesar getting betrayed.
No, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yep.
She like can't hold it in. She's like, why do you get to have everything?
You always get everything you want. Blah blah blah.
Like referring to like everything else in the show.
I don't remember. I think it's when they get back sometime later. It's got like flashbacks and it's like her like going to like the little training sessions and their like quarterly reviews at their dance studio.
Yeah.
And even though Hana's been there longer, they always like compliment Gina about how good she is.
She's
like
the
a natural.
best. She's like the best trainee there.
And so she gets like super upset about that. Then after that, they like have their fight and they're like not friends for a little bit. There's the Picard sweat.
Gross.
That has to be Picard sweat.
No, it is. It is.
But then everything gets turned to another level. Because when they're hanging out in the TikTok room, after they had their big blow up at their little party thing, they discover the contract.
Yeah. It
And
gets,
that's
it
when
gets
everybody-
revealed to the whole school that their relationship is a
Fake
sham.
news. It's fake
It's
news.
a sham.
Smoke and mirrors.
Pretty much.
And then everybody, of course, it's high school. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, everyone's
I
like
can't
freaking
believe
out.
her.
Like,
Like all this
wow.
stuff.
Like it makes so much sense now that she would talk to him.
Like, this doesn't make any sense before. Now it makes sense. And then, of course, guess who the culprit is? It was Hana the whole
Yeah, it was like not even that much of a secret.
It really wasn't. But they like had to like put this like she's like telling everybody who would do this, blah blah blah. There's like this piecing these puzzles together, and they like found out.
Yeah.
But that's when they found out the contract thing, that I guess it's coming to an end. There's a certain amount of time, so the saddest moment in K-pop, K-drama history happens,
Oh yeah.
and that's when like Hana meets up with Sungmin in the what is like a band room or like some random
Yeah, it was
room.
just like some school classroom.
And she like confesses her feelings for him and is like,
She's like, I really like you.
if you're done dating her, if the contract's up, you can date me and I'll do my best to make you happy even if you don't like me.
Yeah.
And he's just like, no.
It was so sad. She's literally just like, oh, you might not like me now, but I promise I'll
Try my
work
best.
hard and like you will eventually. It was like so
I'll
sad.
treat you way better than she did.
Pretty much, and like confesses her love, and then he's like, nope. I
Nope.
like Gina.
And then of course she pops up. She's like, don't ever talk to my boyfriend ever
Yeah,
again.
and then she's like, get away from him.
Get out of here.
Because she always pops up.
She really does though. Like she just like has a radar. I don't know.
Yeah. And so like that's just another loss for Yuju.
And then another loss. I don't know if this comes before or afterwards. I think it might be after. When they're and they're dancing, and their teacher comes in and says their business are failing, so they need to like ask money from them in order to support the company.
Yeah.
And the only person they make pay is Yuju. I think we need 10 million won.
Yeah, and then like Gina is like mad, like, no, we're not gonna do that, and she like leaves.
She's
the
like, you
company.
don't deserve this. Let's go. Let's leave.
She like trying to get Yuju to leave. She's like, let's
no.
walk out, and she's like, no, I want to do it. I'll pay it.
Like this, no. If you want to leave, you can leave. I'm staying here.
And then Gina like leaves the company.
And then everyone in the company's like super mad, and they blame Yuju for her leaving.
Yeah, they're like, we lost our best person because of you.
And then the teacher literally was like, hey, if you go get Gina back, because she's the most important member, we'll give you your money back.
She's like, you don't have to pay the 10,000 won or whatever you have to pay. Like, we'll waive the fee.
We'll just like give you the money back if you like go get her, because she's more important than
our business going bad.
Yeah. So that's just another nail in the coffin. Like,
seriously, it was rough.
And then she's like all super butthurt about that, and she like drops out of school and doesn't talk to Gina. And
well, because like her whole plan, Yuju like reveals the whole dating thing, and then like everyone's kind of freaking out and thinking that they're like bad people, I guess, for it. But then like Sungmin goes on like the school PA system and pretty much just like tells it how it is, and like, yeah, it might have been like a contract, but we actually really like each other now, and it doesn't matter because we're really dating, and it's just like a confession of love. And then everyone's like, that's so sweet, like he's so brave. And so the whole, eventually, like, of course the whole school is like, they're the greatest, Gina's the greatest, and like,
and then also
nothing is like, they're literally like perfectly fine
after that, because everyone like hated her for a little bit, and they're like, how could she? Hana like goes and like confronts her on the rooftop, like it's like,
yeah, they like
West
are on
Side
the roof
Story
somehow,
and they're like trying to fight with each other, and she's like telling about how she's always like been jealous of her and
yeah,
all this stuff, and she always gets what she wants, and she doesn't like it, and she's always super butthurt.
Yeah,
but she buries those feelings deep down in the murky waters, so she's very popular.
And then she just like, she pretty much just said she wanted like one thing to go right in her life.
That is exactly what it was.
Just like one thing, and nothing does.
Nothing ever goes right.
Nothing goes right. She never gets anything she actually wants. And then too, funny is that, you know, Gina left the company and they're all sad because she's the most talented trainee they have. And like, she's kind of sad about it. And then Sungmin was like, you should show your skills on YouTube.
Oh
or
yeah, I
something
forgot
like
about that.
And then like, so Gina sings a song and like puts it on YouTube. And like it gets like millions of views. It like blows up. So
and like the dance studio's like super upset because she's like super popular.
Yeah, it like her video blows up and she's popular, and so like obviously her music career, if she wanted to keep doing it, is like fine because her like little singing video is like so popular now.
And I was like, oh, of course, you know, you have just a random video that popped up.
It's literally like anything she does is just like the best.
Just turns to gold.
She like leaves the company and then posts like a little singing clip, and it's like huge now and has like millions of views. Or like your video, so you're like, okay, well she'll be just fine when it comes to being an idol. And then like of course Yuju just still sucks, and it's like her fault she left.
The other best thing is in this part when the girl like legit points out to him, she like calls him out. She's like, "Oh, I saw you liked my Instagram post the other day."
Yeah.
Were you creeping on me? He's like, "No, you're just so beautiful." And she goes, "No, that's just because of the filters." He goes, "No, there's no filters. It looks like real life." They're literally just, like constantly flirting with each other all the time. And my man's got like training chopsticks over here.
He does. They're great. They're great. They're like perfect couple because they're just so happy.
Like, look, oh my gosh, awesome. But so there's like that's like the big fight they had. But for some reason, the two things I don't understand going into these last episodes is how, one, Hana's so eager to have her back as a friend, and two, why Gina even wants her back as a friend.
Yeah, I don't...
Because she like works super hard to like get her back. And she like goes and talks to her, and like one of the stipulations of them being friends again and putting their differences aside was that she can't go out with Sungmin again, so she like has a chance of dating him.
Yeah.
Like that was like the whole thing.
And then she says no.
So first she's like, yeah, it's okay. Well, because that's, remember they don't renew their contract dating thing because she wants to be friends with them.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Also, this is after like Hana like left the school and like isn't showing up anywhere. She's just like gone. And she like confronts her outside the dance studio. And she's like, we were good friends. Like, why aren't we friends anymore?
Yeah.
But that was like literally her one stipulation to being friends again. She's like, oh, we can be friends again. You just can't date him. Like,
yeah.
which I mean, it's kind of weird. But they also show later on, because the one baseball guy like calls her out and is like, so are you like jealous of Sungmin, or do you like just want Jenna back as a friend? And she's like, both.
Yeah, I know. It's because she kind of does the same thing with both of them. It's just like a last ditch effort of just like pouring her heart out to them. Like I want you, like, but not with them, to like each of them. And that's like, it doesn't work
Essentially,
either
she
time.
just wants the world to revolve around her, and it's not. That's the real story
And then
here.
she's just like very jealous that it does revolve around Jenna. Because it does. I think it literally is like Yuju's just literally trying to grab some kind of straw of just like something that can be like hers.
That's
Just like something that can be her thing that is like hers and not anyone else's, and like people are like, oh, Yuju has this compared to like her best friend who has literally everything that she wants. Everything.
So they like make up for a little bit and they're friends again. Then the contract ends and they spend like and then Sungmin and Gina spend like their last like date together as a couple. And then after that, Hana's like, oh, she's with him on a date because they like skip school. They like don't even go to school.
Yeah.
So the contract ends. Everybody's sad and crying, except for Hana, who's super happy. And then of course, Jenna goes and like finds her because she like wants to talk to her. She's like happens to. I didn't understand. She's like, I'm outside your house. Like, can you come talk to me?
Yeah.
And then she like walks like blocks to, like a cafe.
Yeah.
But they go and they talk, and then she's like, you know what? You've just been jealous the entire time. You're not even a real friend. And she basically just like slaps her in the face verbally and leaves. And then gets back together with Sungmin, and then everything works out and everybody's happy. Baseball guy finally accepts his fate as being like not with her anymore.
Yeah, that guy was just like lame. He's like lame throughout the whole thing, and then he's like, all right, I guess I will finally stop trying to cause
He's
drama.
like, after all this time, he's like, I see it. He makes you happy, and I don't make you happy.
Yeah, I was like, you didn't see that earlier, dude? Like, I don't know. That guy's kind of dumb.
So that happens, and literally the other thing that happens is Hana drops out of school and leaves, and you never hear from her again.
She's just gone. She just leaves the school. Like, we thought maybe there'd be like a nice kind of makeup somehow, and
Like, she
be
comes to her
friends
senses.
or something, you know, like a compromise, anything. And nope, she leaves.
And the only
She's
person
like
who
too
did
sad and leaves.
the only person that did still like her was like the lady, or like the girl, the one girl, the Minji, the rich one.
They're like other friends.
They're like other friends. She's like, oh, I wish you the best of luck. Like, keep doing good. And she like just ignores
she
her.
ignores
and
her,
walks
walks by her, and walks out the door and is gone forever.
And that's it. That's like the show. Literally everything works out good for everybody except for Hana,
Yeah.
who honestly
that's pretty much the whole thing.
was like super jealous and like did a bunch of shady stuff, but like honestly wasn't even like a bad person.
No, did you? Usually the people who like that,
You like hate. You're like, oh god, I'm glad nothing worked out
but they're
for
like
me.
someone that like it just the roles didn't make sense in this because Yuju was so down in the dumps the whole time. You can't even like be mad at them for being like sneaky or blah 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 because they kind of already suck. Like
Yeah.
it's not like she was the one trying to make her boyfriend jealous by using some loser guy as like a fake boyfriend. She didn't do that. She was just chilling. Like usually it's that person who kind of gets the short end of the stick and like, hey, you don't get to be a jerk and like treat these people like crap and get what you want. It's usually like turns on them, but nope, not this one. It was like she's the one who gets like the true love in the end. It did make sense. Gina's the worst person ever.
But also the best.
I 100% team Yuju. She just wanted one thing. She couldn't even get the right spice in her food. She literally couldn't even get that. Gina got that too. And all the food to take home.
Yeah.
Like it didn't make sense. It would have made sense like
Tell us all your feelings.
it's
about
just
this
dumb.
show.
It just
This
doesn't make
into the
it
show
just doesn't
wrap
make
up.
sense because she's like the bitchy hot girl that everyone wants and has the superstar, you know, boyfriend in the beginning that is a jerk and dumps her. And she's like, I gotta get back at him, blah, blah, blah. And so she gets like the loser dude and is like using him. And then like they eventually, then like, of course, like when he falls, like usually that person falls for someone else. And then the person who's using someone gets like left in the dumps because they're actually a bad person.
Or they find out they're like being used and they're like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Like, this is bullshit.
And then like someone who actually genuinely kind of likes them, which like Yuju kind of does, they're like, oh, you like actually understand me and blah blah blah, and it's like Gino's like, what the heck? Like I thought we had a contract, and he rips it up in her face and goes away with Yuju. That would have made more sense instead of just being like, I get to use you as being my fake boyfriend, and then I get to use you as my real boyfriend.
And he's
because
like,
now I like you.
Because he's just like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
He's just like totally down for it.
He's literally just a big simp, and then like gets lucky that she actually likes him.
I don't know.
It was definitely compelling.
The turns definitely did table
for being just a short, tiny web drama on YouTube with like random people.
I was gonna say, if you listen to this and our explanation of every episode, you probably could have watched half the season already.
Yeah, we've already burned through like 5 episodes on silent on the TV here, like just doing this. So it's literally so easy to watch. It's so easy to watch.
It's very good. Changed me as a person.
I don't know. I don't know. You couldn't like hate Yuju just for being what she did because she literally just didn't get anything. Also, like if she was like the one who was like, you know, like rich and kind of bitchy and blah blah blah, you'd be like, oh yeah, she gets what coming to her. Like no, she didn't get anything. It'd
be like in Mean Girls if Regina George just
like
got every single thing she wanted, and then at the end she was just like prom queen and like everybody.
No, and then like Katie gets hit by the bus.
Yeah.
Or like that's what this was. That's what all I kept thinking about was like that's if Regina George like gets prom queen and wins, and then somehow Katie.
And then ends up with the guy at the end and like lives happily ever after, and Katie just like goes back to Africa.
Yeah, and like gets hit by the bus, and it's like, well, I didn't get anything. You know what I mean? Like,
what a waste of time.
I wanted to live in that world, and I wanted to be you, and guess what? You don't get to be. So,
pretty much. I mean,
it's just so funny too. It's just they literally just put her down with everything. Like she wasn't a good idol. She didn't like. No one wanted to be with her. She couldn't eat the right food. It's just like, dude. I don't know. Usually you kind of have an underdog story. You know?
These two bad people, well, I guess she's not really bad. If these two super sad people, why were they not together and just been a couple to end the show? Like, why did she not just get with baseball guy? They talked all the time. They're like the only friends that each other had.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, they were both just miserable the whole time. They should have been. I don't know. That would have been a decent ending if they kind of both changed as people and they're like, you know what, like. We kind of like each. I don't know. I thought they'd just have some kind of redemption for Yuju, like just something of even just being like accepting of the situation. But she's like, nah, I'm good.
She like doesn't even get compliments in her dance thing.
No, she's like bad. She's not even like okay. She's bad.
She's like, how long have you been in Idol for? A trainee?
And the teacher lady like looks so mean, and she's like, you're pathetic.
She's like, yeah, you need to work on that. You should ask Gina for tips because she's been a trainee for how long?
She's literally just better than her everything. At just every single thing.
She's just that one friend you have that always happens to be better and get everything you don't get, and then it never changes for the rest of your life.
That's pretty much. Maybe it was a smart move for her to drop out of school.
Like she's literally just like walking around, just like
she's just so sad the whole time,
like with this little rain cloud over her head, like in the commercials, until she sees Sungmin.
And she like starts to actually, because he like brought her the drink and stuff. Like they start to actually kind of.
It's like actually
because they actually kind of build like a little bit of like actual like they kind of are like alike
chemistry together.
Yeah, they have chemistry. Whereas like
Gina just forced
Gina is just like mean to him, and then it's like, huh, he's actually nice, so I kind of like him. It's not like a natural like him and Yuju actually kind of have like a natural like, hey, I like that too, like this and blah blah blah, and he's just like a big simp. At least the other girl and then the hyper guy got together, and no one's stopping that.
That's like the best. They look so good.
Yeah, it's just like the baseball guy is just like a jerk the whole time, and then at the end he's like, okay, and then just like runs off. And
also, don't forget the nonstop Desinte ads that they got here.
Yeah, they got some brand like sponsoring this whole thing. I would love a season 2. Probably not going to happen, but. If I need to write a petition for season 2,
can we just get like that college one where they're just like going to college and it's the same story over again?
And just, it's just the revenge of Yuju trying to ruin her.
I don't know, man.
I wonder if they saw each other, or no, because Gina left the company. I was like, did they see each other at Idol practice? But
all I know is
I just have not been able to look at Yuju the same.
I can't look at Yuju the same, and I've thought about the show quite a bit since I watch. I watch it all the time, actually.
Yeah, that's how easy it is to watch. Brittany.
I just like put it on and I watch it. And just
Brittany would just have like the most crazy take on it, just like that we didn't even think about. Like the crazy guy should have actually been with blah blah.
Oh, what's inside it?
Yeah, it's
a blanket.
It's pretty much just if Regina George won, is like the actual. the theme of this.
The bad girl always wins.
That's what this is. And if you're second best, don't.
This
even...
guy just like is staring.
He just like stares. That guy sucks.
Baseball guy's so creepy.
He just like stares and is like, "What did I do?"
It's because they're like the power couple. You're like, oh
yeah.
This is the number one sports athlete, and this is the most popular girl in school. Like, of course they're gonna be together.
And then he's just like, "What did I do wrong?" And
like,
like,
I don't understand.
You don't realize that you were like the worst pro boyfriend ever.
He's like, I can be better.
But it's just funny that she couldn't even just dump him, or like not be with him. She had to go make him jealous too. Or did she dump him initially, or did he dump her?
I'm pretty sure he dumped her.
Yeah, because then that's why she's like, I need to.
And she's like, oh, it's fine. Or she's like, I'm not going to get back together. And he's like, oh, it's fine. I got a boyfriend anyways.
Yeah.
And she like randomly found the dude.
Yeah, she's like, all right, we need. Yeah, just instantly thinking of a way to make him jealous.
That pretty much sums up the whole show, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's fun. Definitely watch it.
I'm just hoping Yuju comes back at full strength for this Cherry Bullet comeback next month.
Yeah, look who debuted, Gina.
Because every time I see her now, I just assume she's super sad.
Yeah, that's just a continuation of this. It's like that's actually just their company, and she finally debuted with Cherry Bullet.
Man. It cuts deep. I'm telling you, it cuts
I will
deep.
say it was weird. Like, this show was like very, like just, I don't know, not like anything too crazy going on, but the whole like stalker thing was definitely a little weird.
Hey, you gotta get it. It's gotta get intense,
like,
you know?
because he like stole her pantyhose, and I'm like, that's kind of weird.
You gotta put it in
and then
context.
he literally like cornered her in an alley, and that's kind of freaky too.
He has like crazy eyes.
He really does. That's how he got the role. Like, let's see those eyes, man.
Baseball guy still like has him as the background on his phone.
It's like, dude, but like
on his iPhone.
It's like literally 100% his fault. It's not like they and you dumped her.
I just want other people to watch the show and then talk to us about it.
I wish people would.
Everybody's so excited. By that I mean those two are really excited.
Yeah, and like Songmin, because like Gina's like, oh, I'm too good for this, and then Yuju's just kind of sad because she hates everyone.
She's like, this is stupid.
She just wants to have someone. I mean, she's literally the fifth wheel.
These two are just super excited. I just want Chew Girl to be back as Chew.
Yeah,
Can we just get like a documentary of like Chew's life when she plays Chew?
It would make sense.
Or have them both in the same documentary together.
I just need to email whoever made this, be like, yo, I'm waiting on that season 2. Come on now.
Man.
They always just have the little like lame things that they do for each other. It's like, oh my gosh, what a moment.
Maybe they do like each other. She's like smacked him in the face, like, clean up.
Clean your mouth, please.
Clean yourself up, you pig.
But it's like, oh, because she actually kind of cares.
Yeah, the longer the show goes, the more she cares.
Yeah, she just like slowly falls because he's like actually like a nice guy.
She's just
damaged. She's like damaged, and so it's just like the nice guy wins her over. She gets treated well.
And then Yuju's just like, that could have been me.
Yuju's damaged and gets run over by a train.
She's like in the movies when you get hit by the car out of nowhere, but then they hit that reverse and run over you again.
Like, oh, did I miss it? I think it's fine.
Poor Yuju.
Yeah, that's really just the theme of the whole thing. It sucks that character had to be Yuju. Like, that couldn't just be some random girl, and like Yuju's the happy one. But like, oh, okay, it worked out for her. It's like, nope, she's literally the villain and the loser and everything.
And now I can't look at her the same. This ruined it. She ruined it for me.
She really does. She's sad. I was so not happy to get the Valentine's Yuju card. I was like, crap. She's not really happy. Because like even sometimes the bad guy gets like a moment where you're like, whoa, are they gonna win? And not in this.
not even close.
Not even close.
I guess she did get to go to that fan sign for that artist that she liked.
Yeah.
So I guess that was 10 minutes of her life that didn't suck.
She wasn't just the worst moment of all time.
Like, what if she just like go home and think every night, like, gosh, how could this get any worse?
I saw so funny too is like Gina leaves and then makes a YouTube clip and is like famous for singing, and it's like, well, that sucks.
The contract.
Better luck next time.
I really am not sure how good this K-drama review was because I might have got all that remembered out of place.
I think it was pretty good.
Since I was going off my memory while I was watching the episodes, not in the same order.
Well, we're on episode 3, 4.
That I was talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys watch this, see, look here, they're going to devise this plan.
All right, I'm going to read these subs. Do we have the subs on? Up in Korean.
That's how you really know. It's like, hey, come with me, I got an idea. Then he whispers.
Apparently, Yuju doesn't go to class and just walks around sad out in the hallways.
Sombers up and down the sidewalk, like the hallways, like a ghost, like haunting the school. This man in his crazy coats. Anyways, yeah, if you
like short web dramas, check it out.
Check it out.
And if you like Cherry Bullet, check it out. Or what's the one guy in? Ace, check it out.
And then come talk to us about it in the Discord, because we'll talk to you about it, because that's...
It's our favorite thing besides Girl Planet. And then
you know how people feel?
Queendom.
How they have no one to talk K-pop with, so they just like, keep it on the inside, and it like tears them apart. That's me with this show.
It's hard, man. It's tough. It's real tough.
I'm pretty sure all these episodes together is shorter than like any of the Avenger movies.
Oh, yeah. It's not long. It's not long at all.
Tell us your thoughts and feelings about if Yuju's sad or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, next week we'll be back.
That does it. We'll be back next week.
Hopefully Queendom starts soon. So
yeah, Queendom's going to start soon, so we're going to watch every episode and review every episode. That's like really just what we're ready for now. And Mix is weird, by the way.
I don't think last time we recorded that Queendom had their final lineup out.
Yeah, I don't think so, because we were like speculating.
Yes, and it turns out Fromestein was a lie.
Yeah, we were like, From is the only confirmed person.
We were bamboozled.
Nope, not in it.
We were bamboozled.
That was fake news. It was
fake news.
fabricated.
But turns out the actual lineup is 1,000 times better.
Yeah, I'm definitely not mad about it. It's definitely perfect.
Because it's going to be Hyland from Sistar, Kepler, Luna, WJSN, Vivas, and Brave Girls.
Yeah, that's the best.
Literally, I guess you could take out like Vivas and put somebody else in, but honestly,
other than that, like
it's like the best lineup you get.
It's like the most perfect lineup. Like even like Highland's, like that's sick. That because I know they had Park Bomb the other season, so they got that veteran solo person in there. But I was like, Highland, heck yeah, that's gonna be nice.
So we're super hyped. Stay tuned. For
WJSN, yeah, it's gonna be sick. So
Dawn, hopefully you're there.
Everyone get ready for Queendom.
Talk to you next week.
Next week, I'm JT's Fall Girl. We love you guys. Peace.
Later.